Well, I thank you for joining us, folks, for our Monday show, the Raw Deal. We had a different thing planned today. We were gonna talk boxing with Muhammad Ali coming in. We're kind of boxing heads, so we're gonna have a lot of fun doing that. Um, and then some news broke from Brandon Thurston. Uh, some of the officers in the Vince McMahon lawsuit have been named. The top corporate officials that were rumored to be, well, not even rumored, reported to be part of this back in January when all this broke down. Um, People were expecting certain names to come up, and
Let's
one
be
did.
realistic. Let's be realistic. Everyone, including us here, when this news first broke, we were all like, please don't be Paul. 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 Please. Please, no Paul, no Steph. Please, no Paul, no Steph. Well, we didn't get Paul. Woo!
Didn't get Steph.
Didn't get Steph. Woo! But
Nick
old
Khan.
Nikki.
Yeah, that's right, Batty. It ain't Paul. It ain't Paul. Yeah, Nick Khan. Oh my God.
No wonder he became. When he first got the position, we all were like, "Who the fuck is this guy, and how did he work his way up to get this position from Vince? Like, who the hell is this guy?" Well, now we know how he got that position.
Yep, Nick Khan, the current president of the
Oh,
WWE,
oh boy.
and Brad Bloom, COO, were added to the lawsuit today,
Oh boy.
along with earlier Vince McMahon and John Laurinaitis. The suit claims that. Before I get into this, hey Matt, how you doing today, man?
What's up, y'all? I saw the news. That's why I was late coming in. I saw all that. Not to mention, Mongo, you won't believe what happened. Also, Kenny, I ain't tell you this. I bought an iPhone yesterday. Guess what didn't get delivered today? My iPhone. The driver, due to driver's lack of experience, they didn't drop it off. It was like, we attempted delivery at this time, and I was like, I was at the door.
Home all day.
Right. But Vince, what the hell,
Yeah.
Vince? What the hell, Nick?
So, yeah,
What the
this
hell,
is from Brandon Thurston. We got this from Front Office Sports. The suit claims that
fucked up.
The suit claims that Nick Khan and Brad Bloom were instrumental to a scheme in which the plaintiff, Janelle Grant, was employed in a completely undefined role, except for the understanding that she remained a sexual slave to be used and trafficked by McMahon within the WWE.
Sheesh.
Unlike McMahon and Laurinaitis, the two are not personally accused of sexual misconduct or violence. Rather, the suit claims that they and others facilitated and covered up the exploitation in ways that make WWE liable under federal anti-trafficking law.
Basically, folks, what she's trying to say is, oh, Nick didn't touch me. He just kind of pimped me out. And yeah, Reggie. You hit it right on the head, Reggie. I was just getting ready to say it. Nick pretty much was pimping her. Nick pretty much was pimping her and was like, "Yo, you keep it quiet. We keep you good." Yeah.
By the way, if you're coming from Facebook, I apologize. The preview that it's on there had to do with what we were going to talk about originally.
Oh yeah.
Right.
It was going to be a pretty nice, lighthearted show, but that is no longer the case. we'll have to get into that later.
Right, we can talk about that Tuesday.
Yeah, talk about it tomorrow because good God Almighty,
man.
Yeah. I mean, this is we kind of knew that more names are going to be revealed, but the fact that Nick Khan is on there is not only is it
That's
tough,
the last thing
but
I would have expected to see.
Yeah, but also if they got the last president of the WWE and the current president of the WWE in this lawsuit, they're going to be naming everybody. So we're going to be seeing a lot more people come, get pulled out for this, and as they should, they absolutely should get pulled out and shown, for who they really are. But I don't think this is over because in that suit it also says that there were others. And others facilitated and covered up the exploitation. So we could be seeing more, whether it's in the coming weeks or months. It's not over, folks.
I don't think we're gonna get Paul mentioned in this.
I hope not. I think I hope.
Excuse me.
I would hope not many others are mentioned because the more that get brought in, the more that it just kind of proves just how horrible that place is and how this is into this company's its veins, at this point it's directly connected, and how long it's been going on and how high up this goes. We're gonna see a major reconstructioning at some point through TKO. If there's also the possibility that the WWE might straight up just be fucked.
Yeah.
I honestly am not. I'm shocked that it's Nick Khan. Am I shocked that he's included in this? Yes. Am I not shocked that he's included? No.
Yeah. I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked, and I'm shocked at the same time.
Right.
The
House of Cards is falling. The House of Cards is falling.
Tito Khan worked with ICM before this.
He was a big time Hollywood agent, and then he was able to. He was part of the Rocks. Wasn't he the Rocks agent?
He was.
He was the Rocks agent.
He was involved with the Rock. Yeah, joined CAA, Creative Artists Agency. So yeah, he also represented Tim Tebow.
Ew.
And a few others.
Oh yeah, I remember you told me that.
Yeah. That was when I first heard his name, I was like, that sounds familiar. And yeah, it was Tebow.
And if he didn't win on Wheel of Fortune, we wouldn't even be in this predicament. That man won on Wheel of Fortune and was able to go to law school, and the rest is history.
Jesus Christ. WWE takes Mrs. Grant's allegations very seriously and has no tolerance for any physical abuse or unwanted physical contact, said a spokesperson back in January. Either Nick Khan or Brad Bloom, prior to the lawsuit being filed on January 25th, were aware of any allegations by Ms. Grant that she was a victim of abuse or unwanted physical contact, nor does the complaint allege that either had knowledge of such. So that's not entirely true. This is saying that they're not named as far as actively participating, but they were involved as far as keeping things moving. I'm trying to make this as not as gross as I can. I mean, it's disgusting, but I'm kind of floored by it because it just keeps getting worse. It just keeps getting worse.
Okay, he's pretty much being charged with going, not really covering it up, but keeping the show going. Like instead of putting a complete halt to the entire company and doing a big investigation about what's going on, he's being charged of, as they say in show business, the show must go on.
Yeah. According to this, McMahon presented Blum and Khan to Grant as his key fixers. So like they were introduced. I just, oh my God. I don't know what this means. I don't know what this means. Sounds in the second paragraph that it was a cover up. Yeah, it does sound like there were some cover ups. Fuck. Yeah, that's exactly what it sounds like.
They are screwed.
They're
screwed. And like this is honestly the worst case scenario. We knew other folks were going to be named. The folks we didn't want to be named were people like Triple H, Stephanie, and Nick Khan. And right off the bat, they're ripping the Band-Aid off and telling us, hey, Nick Khan knows where the bodies are buried somewhat. Like John Laurinaitis is snitching. We know his strategy. I'm telling everybody, I don't go to jail.
Mm-hmm. John Laurinaitis is on First 48, and they didn't give that man a box of Popeyes. He is telling
he just got a $5 box. Right. That man just sold WWE out for a $5 box. So like, I just don't. If anything, I mean, at least all this is coming out now. They're technically or they're an actual real corporation. If you think about it now, I mean, the whole time when it was Vince, they were a corporation, but were they really a corporation? Because it was Vince in charge. They actually have people they have to answer to now.
Yeah,
like with this
merger, they had the board, but he had majority control thanks to his stocks. So, good God. Years later, the suit says after McMahon and Grant signed the NDA, he ended up paying only one of the $3 million, which we knew before. This says that Bloom and Khan were told to be the ones that she would have to talk to about this stuff. Apparently, Vince said that this phone call would be the last they would have together. If you need anything, talk to Bloom or Khan.
Good.
According to the suit, I know it keeps going. Down. It keeps going. According to the suit, again, this is at frontofficesports.com. If you want to read the full article, or if you go to Brandon Thurston's Twitter, it'll be right there. In March 2021, Grant told McMahon that Khan had responded to her introducing herself in a corridor by telling her he knew exactly who she was. Later that day, McMahon told her that he had held a meeting with Khan and Bloom and informed them of the nature of their relationship.
Oh, damn.
McMahon told her that the two men had voiced concerns to him and inquired whether Grant could be trusted.
Oh, no, Nikki.
They expressed concern but were ultimately supportive. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh, I got here's even more damning. The lawsuit alleges that Khan and Bloom, whose names have not been previously disclosed, played pivotal roles in a scheme wherein the plaintiff, Janelle Grant, was employed in a completely undefined role, except for the understanding that she remained, trigger warning to those who are listening, a sexual slave to be used and trafficked by McMahon within the WWE. That is quoted in the lawsuit. So he knew what her role was. You basically his boy. Unlike McMahon and Laurinaitis, these two are not individually accused of sexual misconduct. They're just looking at them like y'all knew what was going on and y'all were helping them cover it up. Two rights don't make a wrong. Y'all knew it was wrong and y'all turned a blind eye to it. And this is And if you think about it, this goes with almost what John Laurinaitis is basically saying, where he said, "Man, Vince made me do it." I can definitely believe them. Vince makes everybody do a lot of stuff
everything. Right. It's a billionaire.
Oh shit. The person identified in the suit as corporate officer number 3.
Oh damn.
According to FOS reporting that Grant's lawyer confirmed, is Vince McMahon's daughter, longtime WWE executive Stephanie McMahon. She's mentioned once in an ambiguous context.
It might be good that she's only mentioned once, because that means she probably was like, "Nope, don't want. I ain't in it. Don't want to know."
At one of these meetings, the suit says, Stephanie. Hold on. It might be. That's possible. The suit says Stephanie McMahon, who is described as knowing of other instances of McMahon engaging in inappropriate conduct, motioned Grant to sit near her at a executive committee. So that, you know, I'm looking through this, and that's about all we get as far as that goes. So I don't know what that really means.
Maybe like Steph was protecting her, like, yo, sit near me.
I would love for that to be the case, but I think right now I don't want to assume that about anybody involved. Me to be. I know.
That's honestly how I read it, where she's kind of like, it makes all the sense in the world as to why Stephanie left. The more and more, like, as more stuff comes out, she knows how her dad acts. She knows her parents' marriage, relationship, whatever they are calling it. She knows how her dad gets down. So she probably saw her and was like, "Oh, you the new hire? I know how he treats. I know what he be doing with these new hires. Hey, come over here and sit next to me. Sit next to me." Then, old girl probably didn't want to listen. I bet you Stephanie probably said something to her like, "You do know what you're getting into if you keep messing with him."
Well, right now, it's best to not assume on this, because I really don't know how this is going to go. Another was named in this report. Corporate officer number 4, according to FOS reporting, which Grant's lawyer confirmed, is Brian Nurse, formerly general counsel and head of WWE's legal department. According to the suit, on May 2019, 8 months after he'd been hired, he offered Grant a job 3 hours after having called her to discuss a legal role. The next day, the suit says, Vince McMahon told her that he had ordered Nurse to offer Grant the job, and then McMahon sexually assaulted her for the first time.
Yep.
You were right.
Remember how all this started?
Trigger warning. Trigger warning for your
parents died. Because remember how all of this started. Her parents died. She was down and out. She needed a job. Someone said, contact Vince McMahon. She contacted Vince McMahon. He says, I'll get you a job. That's where that guy comes in, because a few hours later, she has a job in the legal department. Then, boom, that's where the first sexual assault happened. Like, that's how I'm able to piece that together instantly.
Yeah.
Because someone told her, hey, talk to Vince. Vince McMahon might be able to get you a job. Boom.
That's what it was. Again, like you said earlier, it's a good idea to say trigger warning. McMahon sexually assaulted her for the first time, putting his hands down her pants without consent.
Oh my God. He grabbed her in the...
Grant was openly
talking about.
Grant was openly experiencing panic attacks in the office. She was never onboarded or given any clear responsibilities, and Nurse was warm with other colleagues but cold with her before becoming openly hostile. Behavior his staff noticed, discussed with Grant, and in some cases emulated. So not only was she being sexually assaulted at work, her colleagues were giving her the cold shoulder.
Wow, this poor girl.
Basically, what happened was, they, as much as everything tried to be a secret, it was known. They knew what she was, why she was hired, They knew what she was there for, and they resented her.
Right.
So on top of that, your parents are dead. You already don't feel right. Vince already preyed upon that and got her a job. She already feeling weak. And then he's like, hey, you know you're going to have to give me some sugar. She gives the sugar up, willfully or unwillfully. And now you at a place you unhappy, but you getting paid. That's the only thing she probably saying. I'm getting paid. I'm getting paid. You ain't got no friends. You ain't got no family. But you paid.
This is
Like Cookie said, castrate them first, then and with Daddy, burn them.
Jesus Christ. In February 2020, Grant was transferred to another division. In November, Nurse was terminated or asked to resign. Apparently, this had to do with the way he was treating her. Making him one of a number of employees it claims were forced to resign or let go if they knew of McMahon's exploits and failed to assist, support, or facilitate them.
Oh, so Vince was out here. Oh, so Vince wasn't making it. He was being out front with the y'all gonna help me keep my side booty.
Yeah.
My side booty.
This
And if
is
you don't,
all.
I'm
Go ahead,
firing you. It's pretty much what he's saying. Like, yo, yeah, y'all all know what she here for. She here to give me some top under my desk. And if y'all don't like her, and if you say something about it, I'm gonna fire you.
Mm-hmm. Like
That's
everything.
wild,
All of this, the way all of this is going, as much as we laughed at John Laurinaitis' defense, he's right. He's low-key right. Vince had control, like it goes right back to Kenny's point. Vince beat the federal government. He think he God.
Right,
He
man.
can't nobody do nothing to him. Can't nobody touch him. Can't nobody. And he's untouchable. And he out here basically acting like Diddy. Him and Diddy are the real nasty boys. They are true, despicable, downright deplorable human beings. This is what this is all coming down to. Diddy had all these people come out about him. He had Cassie, and then he paid her off. And now everybody else in their mama coming out suing him. Vince had Janelle Grant. All he had to do was pay $1 million. All this stuff coming out, he knew he did this stuff. He don't care. That's why he's been selling all this stuff. He's been selling his stock to pay them off.
All he had to do was pay her $2 million more, and we never would have known about any of this.
Like,
all he had to do was pay what essentially to him was a cup of coffee, and we never would have known. Like
but in a way, I'm glad that he didn't pay that because it came out.
Oh, absolutely. No,
I'm glad he didn't pay it.
That's definitely, yeah. It's just like how close he was to not only getting away with this, but you have to think how many other women were put under these NDAs that he did get away with this stuff. How many others are out there?
I wouldn't be surprised if more than half of the female roster back in the Attitude Era had to put up with something like that. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised.
As soon as I found out that some other law firm was basically doing the class action lawsuit, like
the class action.
Others, when they were doing that, basically telling folks if you or any folks worked at WWE during this time or like were touched by Vince McMahon, contact us because we're trying to get a class action. I'm like, oh, this is about to be bad because this is like to Kenny's point, all the divas, all the women referees, because they had a woman referee and then she tried to sue and then some stuff happened. Like every person of the opposite sex or any person that is, I ain't gonna say the opposite sex. All these
diva searches. The diva searches.
Hell, the diva searches were done essentially just to do something with Playboy, who, if y'all don't remember,
Mm-hmm.
what's his name?
Huey.
He ended up getting, a lot of things came out about him after the fact. So it was just two old, skeezy men. Jesus Christ, man!
That's been my whole point to all of this ever since when people are like, "Well, she's probably trying to extort him." Dude, Vince, you're rich. You have more money than anybody could possibly have. $1 million to you is like a billionaire's. It's $100 to us.
Yeah,
not even. That shit is a 20.
It's $20.
It's nothing. It's nothing.
It's nothing. So it's like, all right, I could pay this, but you know what? I don't feel like paying it. She ain't gonna do shit.
What's she gonna do? I'm Vincent Kennedy McMahon. What the hell is she gonna do?
Been that arrogance.
So, again, according to this, WWE has come out and someone from their company says that Khan and Bloom had no prior knowledge to any of this. That this is false. But I mean, you got to think about it. More people would have to know. It couldn't just be Vince and Johnny Ace. It has to be other people, and they have to be people that are higher up in the company.
Right. So, it ain't just the people that had to transport these folks, because those are the folks that could really, really be cashing in, but they probably definitely signed NDAs and they definitely got paid. The people that had to pick her up in limos, or the folks that had to fly them somewhere.
Those people. When I tell you paid off, their grandkids is straight. That's how much they got. Okay.
Them all.
Those are because you know why? In situations like that, those are the main people you expect to have to pay off. The people around that. Like when those rich people cheat, they're not sitting there just paying off their little mistress. Nah, that driver who's picking her up and bringing her to that hotel that they go to on the regular, that hotel manager that from that one spot that can keep their identity concealed. Like they are the security guard who is following him 24/7. Like there are people who are definitely who got their money. So why
got their money? But this girl, she's about to get her money. She's leaving with something. In the words of Denzel Washington,
I'm leaving here with something. She leaving with something.
Yeah. Again, if you're
Wrestling Federation, that's what this shit is about to be called.
If you're curious about this case, I implore you, please go read the article that we were just talking about. And I said this back when this stuff first came out, and there are people trying to say that if you believe this, we were just anti WWE. Like, read the lawsuit.
Right.
Read it. Go read it. Go read the details. Go look at it.
And this is coming from, and especially with this podcast, like you can never say we're anti WWE with the way that, especially me, I come after AEW. But shit, we come after every promotion the same goddamn way when they fuck up. In WWE, this is a fuck up.
This is not a AEW versus WWE. That's not what this is. This is
a human,
a horrific and long-standing,
demoralizing, humiliating. Like that situation. Shit is crazy. That shit is crazy. Like
that's
okay. To any female viewer out there who. To any female viewer out there who doesn't see what the big deal is, to any male, matter of fact, I'm gonna direct this to the males who are on the Vince and Johnny United side. Imagine you have a daughter and your daughter has a job where she's being paid to do nasty things with an old man.
Because that's
Put that in
basically
that's because that's basically what happened. She's getting paid to do nasty things with an old man, but it's quote unquote in the legal department. Imagine that being your daughter, and yet you would still back Vince McMahon. Come on,
just
something
think
wrong with
about
you then.
somebody. Just think about somebody taking advantage of you when you're already at your lowest point, because this girl had lost her parent. So whoever that was her friend, or whoever told her to contact Vince McMahon, I hope they meant that sincerely, like, oh, talk to Vince. And then, because I know that person, if they had it on evil intentions, or if they were saying like, oh, talk to Vince, he got me a job, and they didn't have to do all that. They was trying to be a friend, but whoever that is, I bet you they feel terrible, because they're that person that introduced her to him.
Mm-hmm.
Because he sniffed that out. Because I'm pretty sure he got the lowdown. Oh, you got a meeting with this girl. What's the lowdown on her? Oh, her parents just died, and she don't got no job, and she's coming here to look for a job. Oh, okay.
One of his first meetings with her, according to this, he had no pants on, and they were in his hotel room.
See,
like
it's just from the moment
from the
this
rip.
began.
Like she's already feeling low, so she's like, and I need a job already, and I gotta be able to support myself.
She needed a job, and she needed that money to. I mean, like losing both your parents that quick. I couldn't imagine how horrible that feels. I've lost one, and that affected me for like a decade. I'm still dealing with that shit. I can't imagine losing both that close together, and then I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. Like all that stress, and this guy comes in and offers you this great amount of money. I don't know, man. I just like I'll never be in that situation.
Right. It shows you how evil Vince is, because just like I said it, we've all been in that situation where we had to take somebody aside and be like, hey, here's the lowdown on this person. Treat them. Don't be like this. Give them some leeway. They did that with Vince. And Vince was like, nope, she about to be doing me. She about to suck something. She about to do this. She about to do that.
We should have known. This shouldn't be any surprise due to the fact that this man had grown-ass men kissing his bare ass on national television. Yeah. This shouldn't come as any surprise that he's a humiliating bastard. Like, he gets a kick out of humiliating people.
I mean, yeah, we always hated it when he made fun of JR. Because when we were kids, as soon as we all started learning that he had Bell's palsy, and that once we learned all of that, we're like, oh, that's why he don't smile. All right, cool. And then we start seeing Vince make fun of it. We all kind of just probably like,
all right, that's enough. That's enough.
We're probably looking at how Nick Khan was probably looking at her. Like they're saying he knows it, just like we were looking at him make fun of JR. Like, all right, bro. Like, chill. Mm-hmm. I know that's your little servant. I know that's your little sex slave. Why you gotta make me say it, dude? Vince probably tell him, no, what do you call her? Don't call her Miss Grant. Call her by I don't want to do that.
Right.
But it's Vince. It's Vince being
the fact Vince. That she said the first meeting they had, he had no pants on. Like, how fucking crazy is that? Like, how crazy is that?
She really didn't have, according to this stuff, too much of an option. She needed to have a high-paying job to maintain whatever she was doing.
Right.
Staying where she was, because they were staying at the same penthouse that Vince was staying at. So, I don't know. It seemed like she was stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah,
and just the people that try to like blame her for this shit, I'll never understand. And it's
that's
men that just they they can't fucking comprehend, any kind of sympathy or empathy for anybody else outside of their own world.
Because I just imagine this, like, take all this, I'm like, not be an asshole, but take all the sexual assault, all that stuff out of it. I just think of it just how it started. This is the equivalent of somebody calling our grandma or our dear old grandma saying, "Hey, I'm in jail. This is such and such. I'm in jail. Can you get me out?" That scam. That's what this reminds me of. He basically saw her like, "Oh, I know how to get her." And he's like, "Yep, I can get in there." Just like they get those sweet old women. Because they know they got money. "Oh, this is me. Wire me."
Then on top of that, let's not forget, my boy was passing her around. It wasn't like she was just for him. He was passing her around to someone who is now going to be back, or whose page is back on the active roster for WWE. Brock Lesnar. I don't think he's getting blurred out anymore in the game either, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know what's going on with
I got the game.
Oh.
I have not seen. I've not gotten too far into like be able to know as far as that stuff goes. I don't see him as a playable character.
Yeah, he's only a bit like you can only when you see him. That's all you can do. You can look, but you can't touch. He's literally the belly.
Okay.
But I saw someone on Twitter created Vince McMahon, and he got the shit quote tweeted out of him. Like, what the fuck wrong with you?
Good. Well, every time one of these games comes out, some dick goes, "Hey, we got to make Chris Benoit." No, the fuck you don't. You don't. You don't have to do that.
You really don't.
You just don't. And then I knew it. I fucking knew the second the game came out. "Hey, we're making Vince. We're gonna make Brock next." You don't have to. Yeah. Don't do that. They're out for a reason.
Right.
They're not going to be discussed again for a reason. I don't give a fuck about your childhood being ruined because someone's life was ruined by this. Many lives were ruined.
Many lives was ruined. And
fuck your childhood. I don't give a shit.
And there's no amount of money that is going to make her bring her parents back. There's no amount of money that is going to, no amount of surgeries and all that and therapy is going to make her feel probably whole again. Because she hasn't been feeling whole for quite a long time. Like her parents are gone, and then Vince just decided to keep doing what he was doing. So like, even like she's gonna win. She's gonna get money and all that. She's still not gonna be happy. She's gonna probably disappear into anonymity. She's just gonna
because you got to think about this. Look how embarrassing this shit is. Look how embarrassing this shit is. Because now,
every time her name comes up, if she applies anywhere, like she has no choice but to win all this money because she ain't gonna be able to work anywhere. Because as soon as they put her name in, boop, boop, boop.
Right.
She won't be able to like walk into a fucking Starbucks or the possibility of someone going, "Hey, whoa, aren't you Janelle Grant?" And it ruins everything.
I hate to say this. She has turned into this generation's Monica Lewinsky.
I was just thinking of Monica Lewinsky. Yeah.
She has turned into this generation's version of Monica Lewinsky because of this. Like, no matter what happens with regards to her and the rest of her life, unfortunately, this is how she's going to be known for. And that shit has to be humiliating. Especially since the fact that she signed the NDA because she didn't want no one to know about this shit.
Like Vince forced her hand out of pure arrogance because he thought he had enough power over her. Like, oh, if I don't pay her, she'll be all right. She ain't gonna do nothing. You learn. You thought
you gonna learn today, motherfucker. You gonna learn today, nigga. And hey,
for Vince, it don't. My boy, like someone said when all this initially popped off, and he said he was gonna. They said, "Man, that's crazy. He gonna probably resign." They said, "Man, that Vince McMahon dad at such and such is gonna be real crazy in the next few weeks. Give it, Vince. You better be trying to find some way to get gone, because no amount of stock you sell is gonna save you." Like,
I don't know. Do you remember, was it last year, the year before, when this shit first came up, and Vince came out on SmackDown and they did a thank you Vince chant,
yeah,
and that entire fucking crowd joined in with it.
thank you, Vince, and then they replayed it, and then all
and
this
then
stuff
you
came
deserve
out,
it, all of that.
And it was
his Bon
right then
Voyage
and there,
tour.
we knew it was another Chris Benoit memorial show.
His Bon Voyage tour.
It will never be another thank you, Vince, because at that point he was just saying he was retiring. But us, especially us here at UTR, we were all like, "Why is he retiring? Why is he just randomly deciding to retire?" Because
like, this ain't Vince.
Right. He's still relatively a spring chicken. He might look like a skeleton, but he's still relatively in good shape. So why would he do that? Why would he do that? And then all this came out. Oh,
bam. That's how. Oh,
but then he forced his way back in, and we're like, "Oh, damn!" And all he said was, "Man, I'm only here to sell the company," and he was actually telling the truth.
Hold on, Matt. Thinking about that, do you remember when he forced himself back in, and a few of the board members either left or were like forced out?
Stephanie said,
we're going to start hearing about more of those board members that are no longer there and what they knew. And now, who's on the board now, who's in control now, and what they knew. Because we need to remember, I hope this isn't the case. Who is the biggest name on that board at the moment?
The Rock.
The Rock. Paul, too. Like, this is just the beginning, folks. Like, it's.
I'm telling you.
I'm terrified of the thought of when one of my fucking favorites gets put in this lawsuit. But I tell you right now, I will not hesitate to say fuck them and burn whatever shit I have of theirs. I will not for a second.
You see, we don't fuck with Velveteen Dream no more.
No.
No, I
for
tell
obvious
you,
reasons.
This is what I think ultimately happened. We always joke about Shane McMahon knowing what was in the box. It was probably
the NDA.
NDA. Because what was the big thing with The Rock when he showed up? Oh, The Rock is now joining the board of directors, but also this man got all his trademarks. He got everything. Dang, how did he get all that? Because he had some shit. I said that with this Rock got something on them because Vince don't bend over. He don't just give up stuff like that. And I said Rock is literally replacing Vince.
Right.
And it makes so much sense now. He came in, he's taking Vince's spot. What else has he done? He has literally turned into, if you think about it, Mr. McMahon. He's just corporate Rock in Versace. He's corporate Rock. He has the biggest presentation. He inserts himself in the main events. He is constantly bragging to us, telling Seth, if you keep fucking around, I'm gonna take your belt. He's Mr. McMahon. Except we like Dwayne. All that's happened is he's taken the Mr. McMahon character and put it into himself now. He had some shit on Vince. He knew some shit about Vince. And he was able to parlay that into getting his trademarks. Because ever since he's gotten those trademarks, he has been on TV more than ever. The UFL, WWE, that men's skincare brand, Acorn, all that other shit. Rock, kudos to you. Because you did something.
Listen, Hold on. He probably did know something. He probably knew Miss Grant. He was probably offered to him, and he probably turned it down. So he probably knows of this particular situation, and he's probably keeping it quiet. Just think about the past 3 to 4 years. Haven't we been hearing about The Rock gonna be in WrestleMania?
Yeah.
When did Brock come back? When did Brock come back? Within the past 3 to 4 years.
Mm.
So I wouldn't be surprised.
According to the earlier parts of that suit, Brock came back specifically
Because of that.
because of it. All right, we'll talk more about this on Thursday.
She put it on Brock.
I'm sure more of this news is going to be coming out.
It on my man Brock, and he said, "I'm coming back
just for that."
Wow.
Brock was about to have his perfect ending. That man was about to be gone. He was so close to being gone.
It was close.
He was this close to wrapping his career up.
But he's back on the active roster page, so that might still happen. I don't know if that'll be welcome.
That is why AOP was dropped today. For many weeks, that was Brock I always tried to drop.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. I fight.
You're not about to pop up at WrestleMania on me, Brock.
Yeah. We'll see what happens there. We will, if any more details come out, we are here every single day, every weekday. But so if anything comes out tonight or tomorrow, I guarantee you we'll be talking about tomorrow. But let's get into Raw because I got work to do in about an hour, so we gotta hurry this shit up.
Right.
We got a tag title. We got a women's tag title defense tonight, don't we?
We got a women's tag title defense, and we got to find out who Gunther is facing.
Oh yeah,
the Gables, the Gable.
Probably, yeah, that's more than likely. So right now we got 4 officially from WWE. We have 4 segments revealed. First up, we have Michael Cole having an exclusive interview with Cody Rhodes following SmackDown.
Dang.
Where or they pretty much confirmed, hey, night 1 Mania main event, Rock and Roman and Cody and Seth.
This is definitely not. No, I would say that for third. No, I'll say it real quick. This is definitely not what the 2-night WrestleMania was for. But all right,
that's what it is now. We're just gonna have to deal with it.
It kind of needs to be the safe face right now. They need something that's gonna pretty much.
They're doing their best to be like, don't focus on the negative. Look at
me.
Yeah.
Look at the man behind the curtain.
The Rock's here, guys. Look at him. He's all big and bulky. He looks like a boulder. Look at him. He's huge. Yeah. So we're gonna get more of that. Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark challenge the Kabuki Warriors for the Women's World Tag Team titles. They actually had a good match on NXT last week, defending against Lyra and Tegan. Not Tegan, Tatum.
Tatum, yeah.
But
Tatum,
ultimately didn't. Tegan's doing something. Liv Morgan
chilling with Natty.
Morgan is on a collision with Becky Lynch, whatever that means. The more we get into this, the more I'm thinking that Rhea Ripley's title match at Mania is going to be a fatal 4-way. Because Nia is still attacking people, and Liv is still trying to get her revenge.
Which means that is going to be every way that they can get around giving Nia the belt. Because they can have something happen to her outside the ring where she goes crashing through something like a wall from trying to spear somebody, and then sneak up, and come on. Let's be realistic.
They're gonna put that belt on Liv and piss everybody off.
That's exactly, Mongo. You took the words right out of my mouth, man.
If it ain't Liv winning in a fatal 4-way, then this is gonna be Rhea retaining.
Yeah. Like it's gonna make every single Live fan happy as a fucking clam, but it's gonna piss off literally everybody else. But I'm kind of an agent of chaos. I kind of want to see it.
I'm all right at this moment in time in wrestling. I'm all for giving the person with the hot momentum the belt. Like you've been saying for the longest, we've had the reigns of these champions have been way too long for every single champion. Let's get a little hot potato going on before you start giving somebody else a long reign. Like so, at this point in time, I'm all for if the person is hot right now. You know what? Fuck it, give him a belt. Let's see what they can do. Let's see what they can do for a hot second. Okay,
Yeah.
they did something. Look, this person then stepped up. They're hot. Hip it over to them. Give it over to them. But all in the while, you know you have your mainstay players in the back who will be able to always step up if needed.
Looking at WrestleMania now,
hot potato everything real quick.
And now with the way they've positioned the pay-per-view, what was it? Backlash. Backlash is in France. So if you don't win at WrestleMania, you can have a way low-key, like honestly, it's WrestleMania, but I'd love to win over in France in front of all.
Yeah. How many times have they gone out of the country for like the first time ever shows, and it's like the hottest crowd they've ever had.
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico. That's one of the greatest shows, and it's just because that crowd was hot as shit from the moment it started until even during the pre-show they were chanting like crazy. It's hard to hear them talking at the desk. So
what was it? Newcastle
for Drew.
Yeah.
So I can see Liv ain't gotta win at WrestleMania because she can have that same moment.
She can win in France. She can win in France. Vive la Revolution. The final match officially announced is the 6-man Intercontinental Championship #1 contender gauntlet. Say that 3 times fast.
Woo!
We get to have Ricochet, JD McDonough, Chad Gable, Sami Zayn, Shinsuke Nakamura, or Bronson Reed facing Gunther at Mania. Now,
realistically, any of these people are a good pick. Honestly, realistically,
except JD.
Yeah, okay, you're right.
JD, aside from JD,
JD's match be over in 0.2 seconds at WrestleMania.
Right, except for JD, anybody else would be a pretty damn good match because we know they can put on a goddamn show.
Yeah, I mean,
but it got to be Gable.
I would love to see Gunther and Bronson get like an actual pay-per-view match, like full 15, 20 minutes. I'd pay for that. But it's probably going to be Chad. I think it's either Chad or Sammy.
I would rather Chad over Sammy at Mania.
Well, they did the litmus test. They did it last week or 2 weeks ago when Gunther was like, I could face Sami Zayn, I could face Chad Gable, and the crowd was screaming, or they were kind of mild, or they were crazy, or they were kind of low. And then he says, I could face R-Truth, and the place fucking blew up. I don't know if that's, but like, Truth is not involved in the match because literally that would not be a great
match.
Not that he can't do it. That would make no sense.
I kind of wouldn't mind.
I wouldn't mind it.
I'm not gonna lie. I
think when it comes to like what's the best story you can do, Gable on TV he's correct. It is my daughter cried on national live television,
right?
Because this man beat me so bad. That redemption is the best story you have. And that's true. That is true.
It's serious. That promo he cut makes you say, okay, Gable is for real. He wants to hurt this man. He really wants to hurt this man.
The thing is, we're not going to have all of these long reigns end at the same event.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like backlash. Something got to end.
So,
Backlash.
do you have like, I don't know,
Cody wins it. Cody wins it at Backlash, brother.
Cody wins the back? Oh my god, I would lose my shit.
Cody wins it at Backlash, brother. Just get over
Cody
that.
ain't
That's
winning.
bad.
What you talking about?
Cody wins it at Backlash, baby.
Hey, Drew might lose. We don't know.
Because
Drew
you know
might
why?
lose.
There's no way in hell they're letting Roman lose both nights.
Twice, yeah, that would.
He's winning one of those, so we know.
Unless, I mean, is the Rock willing to take the pin on the first night?
Absolutely not.
There you go.
Which is where we lead to the breakup of their little union, their brief union.
Right.
Yeah.
But Roman isn't losing that belt the second night.
No,
if Roman takes that pin, Roman takes that L the first night, he's not losing it the second night.
They ain't finishing shit. And what's going on, James? How you doing, brother? It's funny because not only are they like finish your story, but also their video game. The video game is all about finishing the story to the point where when you create a wrestler and you go to name them, what is in the text box that you have to fucking delete is finish your story.
Oh my goodness.
When you go to name anything, it's finish your story that you have to like delete.
Yes.
Like when you go to pick the game on the PlayStation home page, it's like when you're playing those like shooters and like you're shot up a lot, so the screen's all red around the corners.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, oh, you're barely holding on. Finish the story is at the bottom of it. Like it is everywhere. So you have to do it this year. Because if you don't, what the fuck are we doing? What is the point?
Story, so
just do it so we can be done with it and move on to something.
Give it to us at Backlash, baby. Viva la France.
I just want to be done. I'm not even here because I want Cody to be this almighty crazy mega baby. I like Cody, but I just want to. I want to stop hearing that phrase. I want to stop hearing that phrase so badly. I am tired of hearing.
Win so it can be over with. Like Roman can lose. Like just get this shit over with. I thought we were going to be done last year with it, but we weren't. So we ain't had to go through a whole nother year of this bullshit. I like Cody. Ain't like I hate him. I like Matty Rhodes. He cool. I'm just sick of it.
Red, white, and blue. You know that's France still. So that technically can still.
Right.
What's that? They're in the South Park movie. They're like, "What's gonna be the password?" Viva la France.
I mean, it's either Cody winning over there, or them folks about to get a main event, or Rock versus Roman.
All right, fuck. We're gonna find out. Join us tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. You can follow us at facebook.com/Under the Ring Pod and twitch.tv/Under the Ring Pod. You can also find us at Linktree, also /Under the Ring Pod, where you will see our links. At Greg Bush SK, for me, I'll be working the Raw live coverage for Sportskeeda tonight. Go there, you can find it. Join me, we can watch Raw together, and hopefully nothing else fucking stupid happens. You can find Kenny at Rock Ribs 44. He takes amazing pictures of local events. If you've ever heard of House of Glory Wrestling, he goes there all the time. And I promise you the pictures are worth following him for. We have our good friend at Mr. Freshbeard, the teacher man Mike Jones. We've got my forever rival Trick Matty at the bottom at The Right Answer. Our good friend and oh my God, just went blank. Kenny, finish for me.
Street Team Captain.
Thank you. Street Team Captain, Boreal
Maliente. I'm sorry. I'm very tired. Sorry, Tito. Love you, brother. And then last but not least, our local news correspondent, Justin D. Baxley. We'll be back tomorrow to talk all the post-Raw stuff. We'll get into NXT. And if any more breaking news happens regarding this case, I promise we'll be equally pissed off about it and we'll be talking about it. But if not, we'll talk about Muhammad Ali going into the Hall of Fame. That was supposed to be today's. That was supposed to be today's story. That was going to be fun for us, but no.
That and probably whoever else is probably inducted tomorrow if they announce anybody else.
Probably The Rock's grandmother. We'll talk about that later. But until then, thanks for following us, folks. We appreciate it. Oh, it's only Monday. The week just started.
Yeah. God damn. Been a week already.
Yeah, it's been a long week.
What a week.
What a week, huh? It's only Monday.